Hello traders, Day Trader Matt here with businesswithtrading.com doing an e-mini trading room recap for the 18th of December. And today was a very interesting day. Today was a day that moved slowly, but it did have a lot of movement. And in comparison to the past few days, we can look at it a little bit differently, but I think today's a great lesson. For those of you who follow the video, MPP is the maximum profit potential of the move. So 16 3/4 points is what the potential we could have had if we would have held out, if we would have been able to basically top tick the market from our entry. Basically that means we enter the market and the price goes and goes and goes and goes, and then whenever it rolls over and hits our stop, or hits our initial entry is what I meant to say, whenever it rolls over and hits our initial entry, how far did it run before it turned over? Basically what that is. I've had a few questions about that, so that's what it is. But it's a great time to look at that, because today we made 2.5 points, but the potential was 16 3/4 points. And that's one of the things I want to talk about, is being able to see what type of market environment you're in, and you're not always going to know. I've been trading for a very long time, over 10 years, and I have trouble sometimes. So it's a great time to show this. Just because you've been trading for a while doesn't mean that you're going to get everything correct 100% of the time. Nobody can do that. There's no holy grail, like one indicator will just make you a ton of money, or buy a system and put it on autopilot and you'll make a ton of money. It just doesn't happen. You make money through consistency over time. So anyway, let's get into what we actually did on the day, and then I want to show a trade that we actually made in the swing trade room. We talked about it yesterday, the day before yesterday we talked about it, a week ago we talked about it, and we actually got in it yesterday morning. So let's get into what we did in the trading room, and then we'll talk about that a little bit as well. I'm going to start opening up these videos to kind of everything that we do rather than just focus on the trading room. A lot of people have been asking me to see that, and that's what you're going to see. So anyway, our first trade happened right over here. We got long at 1 even. 2031 is where we got long, and we got out at 2/4. It was a very quick trade. Market came up, and then it came down and it tagged our stop that we had in at 2/4. So, it is what it is. It took us out, market came down a little bit more, and then it actually just took off. So it never came back down to our initial entry. Came close right here, but within half a point doesn't mean it hit it. So anyway, it kept going up, and I was watching that, didn't really have a clear conviction to the upside or the downside. Market started coming down, and we decided, if it's going to continue up, it's going to get long right around here. So we got long, and we were, stopped out for a 2-point loss. And then we kind of watched things a little bit. And as the market did come down here, we were watching it, and we ended up getting long right here at 2029. That's where we got long at. And we ended up watching the market, and we ended up getting stopped right here at 2031 quarter. So we made some decent profit there. Watched the market chop around a little bit more, and right here about 11:32 we got long at 0.75 right here, and we ended up getting out at 2.75. So right up here is where we got out at. The market continued to chop around a little bit, and then it started to move up. So very interesting day. It was one of those days where the market moves kind of slowly. We were a little too aggressive with our stops. If we would have, played it a little bit looser, we would have made a little bit more money. But, that's not what I want to talk about. It's not, woulda, coulda, shoulda. You never do that in trading. Ever, ever, ever. That's a really bad thing. But you can look at things from the perspective of learning. And that's what you want to do. So you can look at it and say, well, I see this environment and, the past few days the market has just moved a ton. And, today the market had really good movement. It was just slow movement. So it was, even though it did move nice, it was a little choppy. I would have to say that this was a choppy market, even though it did move really well. That's one thing that we do need to pay attention to. And I saw signs of it, but it wasn't really, in my primary thinking that, this market's going to be choppy and move as well as it did. So it was very interesting with that. But that's really what we want to pay attention to. We made a little bit of money here, and then the market kept going. On the stop out, we were actually negative on the day. And that's not really where you want to be. But you don't want to revenge trade either. Oh, I'm down money, I have to do this, I have to. There's no have. You don't have to do anything. And that's where a lot of people go wrong. Whenever you get in that situation, you feel yourself in that situation, take a couple second break. Step back, close your eyes, take really deep breaths. And then, open your eyes and just focus on what's in front of you. There's no past. And that's in trading, you can't really think of your past. This is what happened here. Okay, that happened there. It's in the past. It's not in your future or your present. So you have to forget about that. Only look at the past when you're done trading. Like right now, when I'm talking, I'm not trading. I can talk about the past. But when you're trading, you have to be in the moment, just like a professional athlete. And you can't think about what happened 2 seconds ago or 10 minutes ago or 30 minutes ago, because it doesn't matter. And that's one place that I see traders go wrong at. When you're at your job or at work, or if you used to have a job, you're at your job, or you used to play a sport. Let's say you're in the middle of a game. I used to play football, so I'll use football as a reference. I'm in the middle of a football game, and I'm in the middle of a play, and there's a fumble, and the ball's right in front of me. But then I think, if I would have gotten an interception 3 plays ago, I wouldn't even be here right now. That's not what you think about. You think about, let me pick up this freaking ball and run a touchdown. Or, if there's a lot of people around you, let me lay on this ball so nobody else can get it. That's what you think about. So, trading's the same exact way. Because if you're making consistent money as a trader, you're in the upper echelon of traders. You're basically like a professional athlete. You don't have to run for a living. You don't have to even be athletically coordinated as far as, playing a sport at that level. But you have skills as a trader. And trading, you have different skills to be a trader, different skills to be a football player, different skills to be a, track and field, even though they do overlap a little bit, and different skills to be a radio announcer. But we work with in the area that we have to us. So anyway, before the video gets too long, I want to look at this trade that we made a few days ago. If you remember this chart I put out for soybeans, I put this chart out when price was right up here. I talked about it going lower, and I pointed to this first red line here. I said, this is a good area. I want to see price come down here and bounce. And that's pretty much what it did. It didn't come up any more than, well, maybe a few ticks more, maybe a point or so, but it didn't come up to where I was wanting to short, so we didn't get that. We initially, the post that I put up, we got long down here, we got out up here, nice trade. It did come up a little more, and like I said, I never top tick, bottom tick stuff. I take really good setups that I like, and I get out at levels that I like. I don't try to get the all-time top, because that just is stupid. I'm trying to get out at the top, and other people are trying to get out, and people are trying to get in, and I might not get filled. But if I get out as the market is coming up, I'm pretty much guaranteed to fill there. But anyway, after this, which we were right here, the market did come down. So let's zoom back in here. And as it was coming down, we were looking at this level. When we saw this, man, it looks decent, not great. Then we saw this, looks okay. We saw this, starting to look like crap. Let's assume it's going to come down a little bit more. And then we saw this candle right here. It definitely looks like crap. Alright, so we want to see if we can get in a little bit lower, or if something actually plays out, maybe we can get in a little bit higher, but let's look to get lower. So we saw this, market did come down. We drew this level as, price was over here. So we already had this in mind, just because it was looking ugly, and after this move here, it just wasn't really looking that great. So market did come down. This was the 17th, which was yesterday, and came back up. As it was coming back down here, we actually did get filled, and we're in it. We had our stop down here, so we had a fairly tight stop, and now price has bounced. And the way we like to do it is either our risk is 0, maybe you take a little bit off and your risk is 0. Nothing wrong with that, especially since price has moved so much. You've made more than your risk. You've made a 3-to-1, 4-to-1, something like that. And that's what our entire goal is in the swing trading, is making like a 3-to-1, 4-to-1, 8-to-1, 12-to-1, because that's what it's all about. Swing trading is where your money just grows. Whereas day trading, sometimes you can't get it. You can't get a 2-to-1 just because it's difficult. And that's why I always talk about risk all the time. As a day trader, focus on risk. It's all about risk, pretty much. When you're swing trading, you do want to focus on risk, but you try to maximize those gains that you have. This area right here, we have been stalking this area. If you look at the post, and I'll put it below the video, just so you guys can go back and look at it if you want. We were looking at it right up here. This was the 14th, it looks like, and we were looking at it right up here. And might have been the 12th on Friday. It was one of those days. But it was far in advance. We were stalking this level. Comes down, hits it, we get in, boom. Not the best trade in the world, but it's very far from the worst trade. We were able to, book solid profits, and we're still in the trade. So I wanted to talk about that a little bit, because that's important as well. And, having that to our daily recap videos, I think is important because you get to see a little bit more than just day trading. You know, day trading, you're so closely aligned to the markets. Every little tick matters. You know, when you're swing trading, it's not really so much. So anyway, hopefully you enjoyed that a little bit. You know, any feedback is good feedback. So if you have any questions, comments, you can always email me, support@abusinesswithtrading.com. Let me know if you enjoy the swing trading discussions, and I'll, add a little bit more here and there. You can also leave comments below the video. Thanks for watching. Have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll see you back here in the markets. Thank you.